Is there anybody who did not sign who wishes to address the board at this time?
I do. Sorry, I'm going to make this really quick too.
Don't forget the mic.
My name is Paulette Gillum, and I have one child in District 20. And all I have to say is that, quite honestly, when we moved here, we thought we were in Spring Hill District. So we are literally 4 houses away from where the cutoff is between Waterbury and Spring Hill. I'm a product of the ITS School District. I went to Lake Park. Also, the hardest thing for me was going to West Campus. I was scared to death, and I was 16 at that time. All I can say is that if I have to send my son to another school for 3rd grade, he's going to be devastated. Nicholas went to preschool at Waterbury. He loves seeing Mrs. Stephan every morning at school, as well as Mr. Cole, his preschool teacher. He loves Mr. Stockhausen. I mean, he's very familiar with Waterbury. He loves the school. And all I can do is ask that you please consider the needs of these children, because truly that's why we're all here, is because of these kids. And he would be heartbroken if he had to leave his school. Thank you.
Is there anybody else who wishes to address the board at this time?
Hello, I'm Kathy. I do not have children at this time that go to the school, but I have 3 that will be attending the school. I didn't understand the concept of this K-2 to 3 to 5, but I was against it. I will say I was against it. In listening to some of the comments, some of the stuff that, from my own experience, some of them weren't valid comments. I'm sorry your kids, you felt, were not ready for college or high school. My parents were military. My father is retired Army. I attended school each year at a different school. So the idea that you gotta learn a new school, yes, I had to. I had no choice. My dad was in the Army, I'm sorry. The kids going, the fact that I have one child in one school, I have another child in another school. Whoa. My family, the 3 kids, are split that we didn't go to the same school. And we were not in a K-2 to 3-5. We were in a standard school system. So, but I'm still against it. I don't want a K-2. I don't want to see my child as a kindergarten going to have a perfectly good school to drive, if you're telling me 30 minutes. If I'm that parent that has to have a child think about it, that's an hour a day that your child is in a car. Or, I'm sorry, in a bus. It's an hour a day, right? 30 minutes? It's an hour a day. I have a house in the Keeneyville School District. My husband has a house here. When we got married, we decided which house to live in. We lived here. Naperville, I believe, is the better school district. They are known to be the better school district. But we picked here because it's an hour commute for me to work. That's 2 hours that I don't get to be with my kids. So I'm willing to live here to have that less time. Same with my kids. I don't want my child having to drive or ride out 30 minutes when there's a perfectly good school nearby. Whichever parent you are, whichever direction. So there are some of the things that I heard that were not valid, and I didn't get it. And all of my siblings all graduated college. And when I got into high school, I didn't know any of the kids in high school. So it was difficult for me, yes. But diversity, you learn. You get stronger. But the time, I don't walk my kid on the school bus. When I make my daily decisions on what we're going to do for the day, you know, I like to go apple picking. Wow, that one sounds really good. It's a 2.5-hour drive. Well, that one sounds pretty good. It's a half-hour drive. Guess which one I'm going to pick? Even though the 2.5-hour one sounds a lot nicer. That half-hour drive, I don't want my kid driving in the car for 2.5 hours. Now I do that every day. An hour every day. This is just one day for one event. That was the whole thing. I got a good education. I was advanced placement when I went to high school. I went to college. When I went to college, I went by myself. It was a 6-hour drive. Successfully finished college. My roommate, who had been in Seattle the whole entire life, she made it the semester and had to leave because she couldn't be away from her family. So I see the advantages of changing schools. It just doesn't make sense. Not at that age, not when they're that young. You're talking about possibly a 4 or 5-year-old, depending on what age you get to start school, but when you were born, 4 or 5-year-old, right in the school bus. If you think it's better, it's going to be better education, and you're willing to sacrifice that for your child to be in a car for an hour a day, then you do it. I don't want my child